Mr. Speaker, the deadline for keeping the government running has been staring us all in the face for months. Yet the majority is using martial law rule to rush the continuing resolution to the floor just 2 days before the weekend deadline. I wish we'd spent the last 4 weeks properly debating the bill under regular order. But, Mr. Speaker, I am relieved that a reasonable compromise was reached on a bipartisan amendment to the Water Resources Development Act that will authorize funding for the people of Flint, Michigan, who've been forced to drink and bathe in poisoned water for years. As the only microbiologist in Congress, I can detail the many ways that this is a major public health failure. The children that have been impacted could suffer everything from neurodevelopmental damage to behavioral changes to anemia to hypertension. These are lifelong impacts, Mr. Speaker, along with a statistically higher risk of incarceration. This compromise is a positive step forward, but there's much more work to do at all levels of the government to get the resources needed to help the people of Flint and of the United States. And thankfully, Mr. Speaker, the bill finally provides the resources to tackle the Zika virus more than 7 months after President Obama submitted his funding request to Congress to combat the spread of the virus and accelerate research into finding a vaccine. I am disappointed that this continues a poison pill that would prevent the Securities and Exchange Commission from moving forward with a rule requiring publicly traded companies to disclose their political spending. This is so important. I think the fact that spending is out of control, money comes in from everywhere, we don't know how much, where it goes, and it is not a good thing for a democracy. And I think it's nothing more than an attempt to hide from the American people the identities of the big corporate donors and probably people from all over the world who are sending money in here in hidden ways to affect our campaigns. If sunlight is the best disinfectant, then we certainly should have spread some sunlight on the SEC to be able to do this, what we had asked them to do. We are very concerned that electoral spending is increasingly being conducted in the dark. And it's also disappointing that despite overwhelming bipartisan bicameral support, the continuing resolution fails to ensure that the Export-Import Bank is able to fully help businesses and workers across the country by restoring a board quorum to the bank. Now, this continuing resolution is going to avert a crisis in the short term, but it's a clear demonstration of the failure of the majority to do the most basic job, fund the government. The majority has been so preoccupied with holding more than 60 votes to repeal the Affordable Care Act and investigating non-existent scandals involving Planned Parenthood that they have allowed the body to lurch from crisis to crisis instead of enacting long-term appropriations. All the while, our infrastructure is crumbling and the cost of college education and the college loans and the interest on them, which is crippling, is skyrocketing. Mr. Speaker, CBS News has highlighted that it costs the taxpayers an estimated $24 million a week to run the House of Representatives. It's abundantly clear that under this leadership, taxpayers aren't getting their money's worth. Nonetheless, I am pleased to be here to be part of passing this tonight to prevent the awful crisis of shutdown, and I think we have all learned lessons there, and I reserve the balance of my time.